There are many wonderful aspects about Lago Maggiore, situated in a wonderfully warm climate in Italy, and it hosts an important finale tonight. The location itself hosts an uninhabited island, more commonly known as the Island of Fishermen, and it was even well known for being a soft spot of Napoleon Bonaparte, who would actually escape from his duties and relax in the relatively unknown area of Italy. Tonight, it is going to host a huge duel, and Italy is well known for its duels. Although there have not been many, there have been some very important ones in life. More famously, 99 years ago, Benito Mussolini and Francesco Ceccotti were sword fighting, which lasted an hour and a half and only ended when Ceccotti had to give up due to the wounds he suffered. Tonight's duel is only going to last 20 minutes, and there can only be one champion. It's the finale tonight then of the Renault Megane Trophy Season 18, sponsored by Power Max Racing. What a fight we have in store. It's going to be absolutely mega around this wonderful circuit. 20 minutes of the race, and the championship is between the two drivers that are currently provisionally 1-2 in practice. Timmy DJG 94 and D Whitehouse 7. I'll come into the championship standings shortly, but I just want to say I'm Jack TM53, your commentator tonight, and what a spectacle we have in store. Now, quickly moving into the championship standings. As it stands at the moment, D Whitehouse is on 170 points. Timmy is on 168. Now, there are further implications to this, but we will get into those in qualifying, but 2 points separate them. But there is an added implication which I'll talk about shortly. Danzo, incredibly, is in third place in the championship. He's on 104. Snav is in fourth place. He's on 98. And Suburtus in fifth place on 92. Good fight for third place in the championship there between those three. Sixth place is Seamus on 85. 1805. Himself is now up to 7th on 75 points. Tinny Tortoise, otherwise known as Mark Parker, I don't believe is racing tonight, so it's unfortunate we won't see him on 69 points. So Shadow Stalker in 9th place has an opportunity to move up the table. He's on 63 currently. Chris Cross is also in tonight. He's on 59 points. Good to have him back. 11th place is MRS. 11th place is Jay Coleman. He's on 57 points. 12th is NXTGEN Bigsy on 44, ahead of his brother Dark Sykes on 40 points. DMK80 is in 14th on 29, the 55-8 on 28, Roving Island on 13, and TMLS 313 is on 4. But enough about the championship standings for everyone else. There is 2 places of focus tonight. That is on the amateur driver we're with at the moment, the championship leader currently D Whitehouse, and the works driver of Timmy DJG. We are on the 8 o'clock point now, so we will start qualifying, and I will tell you the implications of tonight, because in Next Gen we have the dropped score system in place. Drivers take part in obviously 10 rounds during the season, and the 10 rounds that they do obviously contribute towards the championship, but there is a drop score. The lowest score that the driver receives during the season gets dropped completely. Now, as it stands, the situation is where we're at the moment. Timmy just coming out of the pit lane, so perfect timing. Timmy's lowest score currently is 12 points. His lowest finish would be 4th place in the championship, which is an incredible season he's had. He would drop 12 points. D Whitehouse, who's now just come out of the pits, his lowest drop score is 10 points. And that equates to him finishing in 6th place. So Timmy's rather drop score is 5th place. If the pair of them finish in 5th and 6th place tonight, regardless of what happens as D Whitehouse hits the back of Timmy, there's a bit of mind games going on already between the two in the lobby, then the championship standings would be as follows. The lowest score that D Whitehouse can now get tonight in the overall championship standings will be look at it here. Lowest championship score that D Whitehouse can get is 160. The lowest score that Timmy could get is 156. 4 points separate them in the championship. So let's take it at that as it stands. Oh, D Whitehouse having a big moment going through turn 12 there. So there's a lot of you can see it already. The indicators are flashing. D Whitehouse is playing his mind games already. He's already been doing it during the day. Actually, we have a lobby chat where all the Renault Megane drivers talk. And D Whitehouse earlier on this morning said he wasn't racing, so he's already started at the mind games. Now, this is important for the championship ahead because there's a lot of implications that could lead into this, and I'm fairly certain that Timmy will be hoping to get this potential race win if he wants to take the championship. Likewise, D Whitehouse will be hoping he can just fend him off. Now, for this to occur, Timmy needs to take, and we'll cut to Timmy actually because he's on circuit currently. He's just gone on to his first flying lap. Timmy will need to get first place and pole position and the fastest lap, providing, and that would absolutely declare the results. If Timmy gets pole position, fastest lap and the race victory, he will be champion regardless. But if he doesn't secure the fastest lap or pole position, then this plays right into D Whitehouse's case. So Timmy, and I'm going to call Dave for the sake of this, if Dave finishes second and he gets either fastest lap or pole position, the championship goes to the way of the Hampshire sponsored driver. So a lot riding on the line for that. Further down the field we will get to, but that is the standings, effectively the final positions on that one. Timmy needs to go gung-ho if he wants to win this. D Whitehouse needs to go all in at qualifying and then make sure he finishes second. Now, the focus on these two, the pressure that is going to be on these two is going to be immense. They both want to win this championship. They've both had incredible seasons when you think about where they've done so far. Timmy has had 4 race victories this season, you know, an incredible performance from him during the season. Dave has won 3 victories. Actually, he's had 4 victories this season as Dave. So it's a lot of work for him to do. He's got to make sure that he takes the 3 victories he's got at the moment and ensure that he try and boost that tonight. If he beats Timmy, he wins the championship regardless. So it's going to be crucial to see how they get on. The other 2 race victories from this season actually go to the man who's currently provisionally on pole. Crisscross currently with a 158, I think that is. 158.8, that's a fantastic time from the Zerkotech driver. This is a man who's got the opportunity to throw a few differences into the championship, and there's the first blood at the moment. Has gone the way of D Whitehouse. He's got a 3/10 gap to Timmy as it stands. Still, it's only the opening lap yet. There's a long way to go. Slow Seamus currently in 4th after the opening laps. We know how quick Seamus can be. Did quite well round here last season. Did Seamus, from my knowledge. He actually won the race. It was a reverse grid race at the time, but he put it on pole and he fended off Carter Boy at the line and took a brilliant victory. So Seamus has got some speed around this circuit. He's going to be one to factor in. Coleman back tonight in that 3M car. Good to see him. He's in 5th currently. 8 thousandths ahead of the ever-improving Garage Full Tile Company driver, 55.8. He's really starting to put in those quick laps now as a 55.8. Starting to see an improvement. And just as I say, that Snav decided to take part in qualifying tonight for the final round. It's just done a 2:06. Bertus, he'll be open to try and just maintain his 5th place in the championship. He'll want to try and move further up the field, but it's going to be a tough ask. Danzo, in 3rd in the championship, I think he's got 6 points of a gap to Snav as he goes flying through the 3rd to last corner. They absolutely chucked the car in. Got to be careful on that curb, of course. But incredibly, 4 minutes, just under 4 minutes now to go in the session. Dark Sykes is in 11th. Incredibly, Dark Sykes in all the races he's taken part this season has gone backwards in terms of his race result from where he qualified. So, hopefully, if logic dictates, if he qualifies further at the back, he should move forward. I hope so for his sake. He's been really unlucky. He was pole position last time out at Brazil. He's going to hope he can go quicker than that. There's Biggsy, his brother. Only 3 points separating those two in the sort of inter-rivalry, brotherly title fight, as we call it. And there's Shadow Stalker at the back. He's got an opportunity to try and get past his long-time rival Mark Parker in the championship too. So there's a lot going on tonight. There's a lot to try and keep on track of. So we'll see how they get on. D. Whitehouse aggressive into turn number 1 there. Really chucked the car in. Timmy, at the moment, is now ahead of D. Whitehouse. So I think a bit more mind games has gone on between the two of them. I think D. Whitehouse happy to sit behind him. At the moment, though, Crisscross has the provisional pole. That's going to take a point away from Timmy, which he absolutely needs. So this could throw up more implications in the fight during the race itself. Shadow Stalker, now that's much more representative of Shadow Stalker. I still think he can go quicker than that. He's 6 seconds or 5.5 seconds off the pace. 7/10 off Biggsy. I think there's more time to find from the Geisen driver. He's a great driver, really nice man, is Shadow Stalker. And he's got a good opportunity here. Snav's now gone quicker. He's just put himself in 6th place. He's only 1.8 off the pace. He's 1/10 behind 1805 and 4/10 behind Seamus. But these three are in a class of their own. Timmy only 4/10 off Crisscross. D. Whitehouse is right there as well. And it's going to be consistency tonight. This is the key point in the championship now. There is no more excuses. There's no more rounds to try and bring yourself back into a championship fight. This is it. This is going to be the mentality. It's going to be pushed to the most. So who will come out on top? Timmy will want to go for that pole position. He'll want to get as many points as he possibly can. D. Whitehouse not improving on this lap currently. Danzo's just improved his lap time to a 2-minute 1.3, but you can see the lap times that the front three are setting. Absolutely on it tonight. So what can they do? What can we see? What will Timmy do then as he comes towards the line? Bertus goes quicker as well. What's his lap time? Oh, he's 2,000 slower than what he'd done. He's got one more lap to try and improve. Chucks the car in. Very aggressive into the corner. D. Whitehouse taking a tighter line. Oh, and Timmy's into the wall. That's his pole position gone then. Timmy has just lost an opportunity to gain an extra point. He's retired to the pit lane. So, D. Whitehouse then has the opportunity to try and get that pole position from Crisscross. There's only 0.03 of a second in it. Let's not forget. He's not far away from the timing beam for Sector 1. So, what can he do on his final lap? Here he comes. What's his first sector? He's 0.02 of a second up. Really took the car in, going through the corner there. He absolutely sent the car going through turn 5, 6 and 7. Went a bit wide as he did so, but he kept his momentum going. So this is going to be crucial now for the rest of the lap. Comes through turns 8, 9, 10. Clips the curb on the inside, and that goes through turn number 11 now. A quick flick into the left-hander, then the right-hander through turn 12. Got to make sure he gets his time right. He's got his indicator on the left-hand side. He's 0.2 down, so he lost that time through turn 5, 6 and 7. It's a triple apex, that corner. And now he's on the brakes. Hard into his third gear. Chucks the car in. Clips the apex. Really well did Dave there. That was a good line from him. Qualifying is now over. The checkered flag is out. Seamus has seen the flag. He's done too. He's going to stay in 4th for the time being. What about Dave's next sector? What's his lap time? Still 2/10. He's got to try and find 0.3 of a second to get himself in front of Crisscross. That is going to be a tall order, but we're on with him at the moment. The finish coming up. Roving Island's just moved up to 4th. That's a fantastic effort from the Juice Design driver. Brilliant effort from him. Will he stay there? That is the question. Here he comes then, Dave, as he comes around the final corner. It's been neat. But is it enough? No, it's not. He improved, but not by enough. So, Crisscross has pole position at the moment. Roving Island, what an effort from him on only his 3rd appearance in the league. Wonderful performance. 1805 seen the checkered flag, as has the 55.8. What about Coleman? He's just coming round the final corner. No, it's not Coleman. Who is it? It's Dark Sykes. Doesn't improve. There's a spinner in the background, or rather there's a donutter in the background, I should say. Biggsy seen the flag. Shadow Stalker's still on a lap, but I think he's made a mistake judging by his outlap time. so he's not going to improve either. But first blood goes the way of D. Whitehouse. The mentality is a huge slide from Snav as he goes through the corner. Fantastic commitment. And to be honest with you, I think he's just drifted now, but even if it is, that was fantastically held by the Power Products driver. There's the 55.8, he's in 7th. 18.05, good effort from him, he's in 6th. Right on the pace. But mentally, D. Whitehouse has that position ahead of Timmy. It's in his favour, but he has to see it out in the next 20 minutes now, does D. Whitehouse, if he wants to win the championship. It's going to be so important. Timmy can still do this, though. If he gets past this lap and he wins the race, and Dave doesn't take any additional points, not that he could do if fastest lap was taken away from him, then the championship will go Timmy's way instead. So this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful battle we've got in store. Timer is up, the qualifying session is over. What a field we have for the final race of the season 18 here with NXTGEN, sponsored by Power Max Racing. Here we go, tensions building here in Italy. You've got the Zerkotech driver on the right hand side, D. Whitehouse, a flash of the lights on the left there. He's ready for this. Are the other drivers? 20 minutes will come up on the right hand side shortly. There it is for the final time this season. Here come the numbers. And the race is live here from Lago Maggiore. It's a good start from Crisscross. He's got exactly what he needed to do. Timmy's had a good start as well. D. Whitehouse, though, is able to fend him off by the looks of it as they approach turn 1. D. Whitehouse aggressively defending into turn 1, but Timmy's trying to go around the outside. D. Whitehouse, a bit of contact between the two. Timmy's now on the inside, and he's got through. Timmy is up into second. A huge start and a huge change in this championship fight. Slow Seamus is in 4th. He's got 18.05 threatening him as they go into turn number 4. Here comes Snav. He's up into 6th place. Roving Island's not had the best of start. He's down to 8th. He's probably on the outside as well as they approach turns 5, 6 and 7. Will come out of the spectator options and go straight back in. D. Whitehouse planted onto the rear bumper of Timmy. He's on the outside. A little bit of contact as they come towards turn number 8 now. D. Whitehouse on the outside. Bit of momentum with Timmy, and sure enough, Timmy slots himself back in front. He has run wide. Will that compromise him as they go through this triple, almost chicane-like section of corners? Very fast chicane. D. Whitehouse now has the opportunity. He's going to go around the outside, but he's run wide. He's got to be careful of that grass. And the momentum is gone. So Timmy is ahead as it stands. Slow Seamus is 4th, 18.05's 5th. There's Snav in 6th. He's got pressure from Coleman behind. Coleman looking to try and go around the outside as they approach the corner. You've got Suburtus trying to go up the inside as well. And that's a great lunge up the inside. Burtus using the braking in the camber into turn 13. And he's straight through as the Dutch driver. Shadowstalker's in 10th. Good start from Shadowstalker. Dark Sykes has had another problem on lap 1 again. The luck is not with the Mark Sykes Designs driver this season. Only one race has he done. On lap 1 has he not had an incident, and he's already 8 seconds behind. He's going to be furious in the post-race chat, no doubt about it. 55.8's been caught up, as has Danzo. Big Z, even worse. He's almost 12, 13, 14 seconds nearly behind now. So something has happened at the start. Anyway, back to the front. And Timmy's on the outside. D. Whitehouse has got a lunge up the inside. Bit of lawnmowering going on from D. Whitehouse. Timmy absolutely aggressive on the inside, fighting back. These two are going to end up in a crash if they're not careful. But D. Whitehouse is on his inside now. Can he get the move done through turn 3? Oh, Timmy's on the grass. Bit of contact maybe. No, just about holds onto it. D. Whitehouse gets the move done. No holds barred in this fight. You can already tell the aggression has come out straight away between the two drivers. But the advantage is D. Whitehouse. He's got himself ahead of Timmy. That is going to be important. Both drivers no doubt will be driving angrily now already at this point, because there's going to be absolute chaos between these two over the next 17 minutes. Crisscross taking advantage of this. He's already up the road. You can see him just in the distance in the purple car. Up and off the road. He's got 1.4 already. Seamus has been gapped, but he's got 18.05 looking to try and pressure him in that steel seal car. Got a bit of a penalty from somewhere as 18.05, but he's right on the back of Seamus. He's looking potentially for a move up the inside as they approach turn 13. Can he get it done on the brakes as they approach that corner? D. Whitehouse has gone behind Timmy. Oh, and Timmy's gone wide further up the field. Timmy's comfort tap into Timmy, and sure enough, D. Whitehouse is back in front. Had to cut away from the fight there because that was important between the two. Coleman now on the outside of Snav. This is going to be an ongoing battle, I think, because they're already having a good scrap at the moment between the two cars. But Snav currently ahead as it stands of those two. So Burtis is 8th. Roving Island down to 9th. He's had a huge hit from the back. You can see the back of his car there is all scratched in the number 48. Not sure what's happened to him, unfortunately. But he's down in 9th place after starting 4th. Shadowstalk is still running in the top 10, but he's being closed dramatically by Dark Sykes. The gap's now down to 5.6. So, back in the battle for 4th place. Seamus currently ahead of 1805. A lot of battling between these two through the past 2 seasons. They're both relatively well equipped in terms of pace, but 1805's never quite had that race win that Seamus has. And I'm certain next season these two could be potential fighters for the championship. Both the Steel Seal driver and the Adrian Flux driver. D. Whitehouse is behind Timmy. Something has happened to D. Whitehouse after getting back in front. The positions change again. So, Crisscross still has fastest lap as it stands. Don't forget we've dropped scores as it plays out. There's 4 points separating them. Timmy needs fastest lap. He absolutely needs fastest lap if he wants to take this championship win. So he's got to go for it now if he wants this championship victory. Crisscross is already 2.3 seconds up the road, so he's not going to get the slipstream. He's going to have to work for it now, is the, quite literally, works driver. Seamus got a gap now to 1805, only half a second, but Snav still under pressure from Coleman, and Burtis is not far behind as well. Snav defending heavily as they approach turn 13. On the brakes, Coleman trying to go around the outside, probably not going to get through there. Burtis very close behind as well, just a little bit of a ghost from the Dutch driver, but he's right back in the thick of it, is Burtis at the moment. In terms of the battle for 3rd place in the championship, Snav currently in 6th. He would be due to Scott. D. Whitehouse is back in front of Timmy. So, again, the championship plays out again. Timmy must have made a mistake somewhere because D. Whitehouse is now championship elect as it stands. D. Whitehouse, the number 7, is currently in 2nd place, ahead of Timmy where he needs to be. But these two are going to be joined by Seamus in 1805. 1805 got a very good run out of the final corner there. Came out of turn 19 very well. He's going to be on the inside for turn 1. Can he brake later? Yes, he does. And slots it straight through. Wonderful move from 1805. He's up to 4th. Looking to go out with the season with a bang because he's only had 1 podium this season as 1805. And that was way back at round 3 at Brands Hatch. So he's going to want to try and get another podium. He's more than capable of upsetting the apple cart between D. Whitehouse and Timmy, so let's see how he gets on. Seamus just dropped the back a little bit, the Irish driver there, not sure what happened. Then there's another 3-car fight for 6th. Snav is now still got Coleman all over his rear wing. Burtis is there too, and I think that might become a 4-car fight because Roving Island's been getting some better lap times. He's just closed that gap a little bit between the 4 cars in front of him. Just matched Snav's lap time last time out, so there's a lot of potential there for a 4-car fight. Here we go then into the action zone as we approach turn 13. 1805's had a fantastic run. He's got a really, really good run as he approaches turn 13. And sure enough, D. Whitehouse sees this, gives him the slipstream. He's going to get past Timmy. Timmy, though, is going to no doubt brake later. He's on the inside and yet get straight through. 1805 just trying to clear that penalty, but he's got a fantastic run coming out of the hairpin. He's going to be on the outside for turn 14, which will be on the inside for 15. Bit of contact between the two, bit more contact between the two, but 1805 just slots in front. He's up to 3rd. Oh, and what a move back up the inside from Timmy. That was fantastic. What a counter-attack from Timmy. That was beautifully timed. Timmy back into 3rd place. I did not expect it. I'm fairly certain 1805 wouldn't have expected something so quick as that. Timmy is up for the fight. I thought for a brief moment that Timmy was going to struggle to get back past, but that was a fantastic move from the works driver. This is going to be hectic through the whole race. Crisscross, though, taking away this fastest lap at the moment at 59.3. Not ideal for the two championship contenders, but these two are going to be nip and tuck all the way through. Seamus has been gapped a touch now. It's 1.4 seconds. Coleman is ahead of Bertus. Snav has dropped to 8th, and Roving Island has joined the back of the queue. The Joyce Design driver is now right in there, in the thick of it. Having a little bit of a look at Snav going into turn 4, but nothing doing through there. Shadowstalker has been joined by Dark Sykes in 11th place currently. Dark Sykes, really unfortunate this season for Mark, as he's known. He's just had a lot of bad luck. He's got a good approach coming out of turn 4 there. Is he going to look for a move up the inside of turn 5? Probably will brake later than Shadowstalker. Shadowstalker, fairness to him, gives him the room straight up the inside. That's how clean a driver Shadowstalker is. Really good racing between the two. Back in the fight for 6th place in this 4-car train, and the pressure now is going to start mounting onto Mr. Coleman himself. Timmy's left. Timmy has left. What has happened to Timmy? The anticlimax of the championship is gone. What has happened to Timmy? He's left the room. That is an absolute shame. It's not any way, shape or form we want to see that. I'm not certain what's happened to Timmy. I hope it's nothing too serious, but unfortunately for him, his championship is over. His championship title is gone, and D Whitehouse, providing that he finishes in 5th place, will take this championship back home with him. The Hampshire driver, currently in 2nd now. Wow, I was certainly not expecting that. I said it was the battle for 6th, and then Timmy's just left. Oh, that's a real shame. That is a real shame. It was really shaping up to be a good fight. There goes Bertus, who's punted Coleman off the circuit. Where's Roving Island? He's already battling with Snav in the middle of all that. I don't think Coleman's going to be too pleased with that one. There was a bit of contact, and sure enough, Coleman went flying off the circuit. Snav and Roving Island still trying to go side by side through turns 2, 3 and now turn 4. Has Snav got the move done? Yes, he has, and he shuts the door on Roving Island. Any chance of a counter-attack blocked by the Power Products driver. So, catch your breath for a minute. 9 minutes left in the session. Shocking developments here in Italy, as D Whitehouse's main championship rival of Timmy DJ G94 has left the room, unfortunately. I hope it's nothing too serious. I hope nothing's affecting him away from his GT Sport game here. I really hope he's okay. But that is such a shame. That is such a shame. We had a wonderful championship fight on our hands there. The pressure then goes back to D Whitehouse. And it's a different sort of pressure. It's a pressure to be consistent now. Has to just make sure he gets his lines right. He's got 18.05 shadowing him. He's only 1.2 behind, but he can afford to lose that position. I'm sure Dave will not want to do that. That's the last thing he'd want to do. He wants to get as many places as he can. He'd love to win. Of course he would. He'd absolutely love to win, but a bit of an effort to try and catch up to Crisscross in these next few laps. He has got the gap down to 4 seconds though, so I don't know if Crisscross has made a mistake on that last lap, or if D Whitehouse has been pretty excellent. Seamus is now on his own. Be a good way to finish the season for Seamus in 4th. Bertus is 5th. Coleman in 6th place. Snav there in 7th. And Roving Island in 8th. So the 4 of them have just spread a little bit in the last few laps. Snav having a big moment going through turn 19, the final corner. Dark Sykes, we saw before, got past Shadowstalker, who's still in the top 10. Danzo in 11th. Now, this is key for his 3rd place in the championship. 6 points separates himself from Snav. And at the moment, Snav's gaining 4 on him. So, bit more effort, bit of a big slide coming out of turn 2 there from Snav. Really eager to put the power down as he came out of the corner. So, can he put any more pressure on Coleman? He's got pressure from behind from Roving Island. It's really, really strong showing from Roving Island in 8th at the moment. He had a bit of an action-packed open lap. He fell to 9th. But now he seems to have got himself back into the groove a little bit. He's really fighting for these positions. What can he do, though? What can he do to move forward? Snav there. He's just closed the gap on Coleman. I think Coleman's made a mistake on this lap, and he's going to be vulnerable down this long straight as they approach turns 13. In fact, you could see Coleman, very erratic from Snav going through that corner. He's running a little bit wide. Roving Iron not close enough, and Roving Iron sure enough just doing a personal best middle sector. So this is it as it stands. Looking good so far for the champion-elect of D Whitehouse, but there is still 6 minutes left in this session, and he's lapping well, is D Whitehouse. He got into the 59s on that lap. It's actually a second faster than Chris Cross, so Chris Cross not having the tidiest of laps last time around. Sure Dave will have been wanting this moment. You know, last season he run the championship fight close with Carter Boy 99. He ended up coming second last season in the championship. A few mistakes cost him in the end, and look at that lap size, a 59.1 from Dave. That's a fantastic effort. Only 1/10 slower than Chris Cross's best lap, so the pair of them only separated by 1/10 at the moment. There's D Whitehouse really wants to go for this race win. He wants to steal the title with a victory. A little bit of a twitch through turn 4 though. 1805 in third. That would be a great way to end the season for 1805. That would really give him a boost going into season 19. There's Seamus in 4th. Burtis is in 5th still. Coleman's in 6th with a big slide coming out of turn 4. Snav still has Roving Island all over the back of them. We'll ride on the sort of roof cam effectively with Roving Island. Snav defending to the inside for turn 5. Snav brakes a little bit later, just covers that line off. And Roving Island doesn't have an opportunity coming out of the turn 7 part of that sort of triple corner, so to speak. Snav a little bit wide. That's a good line from Roving Island as they go through 8, now through 9. A really good line from Roving Island. He's got it up the inside. Is he going to squeeze Snav? A little bit of contact, door banging going through the corners 3 times between the two. Still side by side as they approach turn 13 now. Snav on the inside for this. Will Roving Island look to do a potential switchback coming into turn 13? Does brake earlier. Braked a lot earlier actually. And that's the opportunity for a potential switchback gone. He braked very early with the Joyce Design driver, but nonetheless he's still there, still putting the pressure on Snav, who at the moment is just not close enough in the championship standings to get past Danzo with 1 round to go. Danzo now just putting the pressure on to Shadow Stalker. Still 2 seconds between the two of them, 4 minutes to go, roughly 2 laps for these drivers, depending on where they are on circuit. Big Z has unfortunately gone into the pits. It's game over for him. He's retired. 55.8 as well has dropped right down. And you can see 55.8's been consistent with his lap times in the 2-minute ones. Potentially could go quicker this lap. Seems to be a case of what might have been for the 55.8. You know, he's only had 1 top 10 this season, but he's certainly capable, is the 55.8, of more than his race results have belied so far this season. Coleman's got a gap to Snav, and Snav has now finally got a little bit of a gap to Roving Island. Bit of breathing room for the Power Products driver. D Whitehouse still in the 59s. He's a little bit quicker last lap on Chris Cross. 1805 also in the 59s now, so there's a very fascinating championship fight that will be had in season 19. I think 1805 and Slow Seamus are going to be right in the mix. They're both very quick drivers in this lobby. And I think, combine that with Danzo's consistency as well, there could be a real potential for fireworks in season 19. And there will be more details on that I'll give you everyone at the end of the race. But right now, as it stands, D Whitehouse is on his way. 4.2 now the gap. I wonder if D Whitehouse is just going to take it easy now in these final few moments. Got time to think, time to reflect. All those issues that may have happened earlier on in the season, he's got to just keep those out of his mind. Potentially 2 laps to go. Actually, it could be even 1, depending on how the time flicks over. See Chris Cross just coming around that final corner already. He's drove effortlessly as Chris Cross. He's had a really good race. He crosses the line now. D. Whitehouse crossed the line with 1:54 to go, so this is his final lap. He just has to keep it on the circuit. That's what he has to do. He's got 3.4 to 18.05. He's got 9 seconds effectively to 18.05, as near as makes no difference. And then 15 to Suburtus, which is the minimum he needs for the championship based on dropped scores. So there's Coleman currently on circuit. I'm just going to have a quick calculation to make sure we've got the right, obviously the correct dropped scores in the championship going into this final round. D. Whitehouse was on 170, Timmy was on 168. Timmy's minimum score will now be 168. D. Whitehouse, finishing where he is, will be on 188. Drop score puts him on 178, so he is comfortably in the position he needs to be in as it stands. And I think we will invite D. Whitehouse into the lobby at the end. We'll have a chat with D. Whitehouse. We'll get his thoughts and opinions going into this final. Just want to say, Burtis has been closed in on by Coleman in these last passing moments. You can see he's got a good run as Coleman are heading towards turn 13. Burtis moves to the inside, more of a precaution. I don't think he needs to... Oh, Coleman goes for a late lunge, but he runs deep and he ghosts at the worst possible time. And Burtis is straight back through. There's no messing about there. We're going to cut to Crisscross, though, who has slowed down. He's actually made a mistake, I think, on this last lap, because D. Whitehouse is right there. He has driven excellently. And you know what? It's a wonderfully deserved victory for Crisscross. Well done to him. But we're going to cut to D. Whitehouse. He is your champion for season 18 of the Renault Megane Trophy. What a fantastic season he's had. 18.05 with the show-off performance just at the end there in third. Seamus doing the same as he crosses the line in fourth. Burtis, here he comes. He fends off Coleman at the last for 5th place. Snav in 7th. Ghosting over the line. Roving Islanders in 8th. Dark Sykes, don't count him out for next season, for season 19. He's got the pace, he just needs the luck. He finishes in 9th. Danzo's going to come home in 10th place. Shadowstalker 11th, 55.8 in 12th. But this man, D. Whitehouse, is your champion for season 18. I'm just going to cut over to the PSN. You'll probably see the blue line at the moment, or rather the blue screen in front of you. I'm going to invite him into the lobby, into the party chat rather. Hopefully he'll be able to join us on that one. But there's your race winner. Let's not forget, Crisscross has had a fantastic race. What a result for him. He led every single lap, pole position, the Grand Kellum, all in one go. So wonderful. Once was last. I think that's more of his auto on that one, his sort of auto comment that comes up. We'll just wait and see where the Whitehouse is. Hopefully he'll be able to join us if he can. We'll hope to see if he jumps in, pops in a moment. But what a season we've had, you know, what a fantastic season. 3 different race winners, but the action has been phenomenal on a whole different level this season. We've had a number of well-deserved podiums. You know, 18.05 just got his 2nd podium there. It was a really good performance. I just saw that D. Whitehouse has joined us. Dave, you join us as champion. How does it feel?
It's certainly a relief, Jack. That was turning into one hell of a battle halfway through, but you know, it's a shame it didn't carry on for the whole race.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. You know, the opening 10 minutes were unbelievable. You were swapping places, mistakes were aplenty. I think the nerves were getting to the pair of you. I mean, what were you thinking you know, when you were fighting with Timmy at any point during this race? You know, did you think, crikey, I've got to put my foot down again and get back past him, or was it just a case of let's see what happens and hope he makes a mistake?
The plan from the start, obviously we knew Crisscross is quick. Whenever he's raced in Lobby 2, he's been up there, and after the first couple of corners I could see he could start to pull away, so I thought let's at least stop Timmy winning the race, because obviously if he wins the race, gets fastest lap, even on the last lap, he's got a good chance of winning it. And so Chris Cross ran away, and then it was just about keeping him busy really, and overtaking. And then he ran wide on one of the corners, caught the gravel, and that was the last I saw of him. So, it's a huge shame he wasn't there for the whole race, because I think we started having a queue behind me. I think it was a bit like Lewis Hamilton in Abu Dhabi in 2016.
It was certainly eventful. I was watching it, and the thing is that you were, like you say, you were fighting really hard between the pair of you, and it brought Seamus and 1805 right into the mix. And 1805 actually got past Timmy, got up to third, and then unfortunately Timmy left. I'm hoping on a personal level he's okay. I hope it's nothing too serious. But like you say, Dave, it is a massive shame. But this is redemption from last season, really. I mean, you managed to iron out the mistakes. I know you didn't have the best of luck at times this season with the Red Bull ring coming to mind, obviously the same as last season. But it's been a wonderful battle between you two, hasn't it?
Oh, it's been a great battle. I mean, we started at the first round, we had Chris Cross, myself and Timmy all up there at the front. And then pretty much through the season, Chris Cross coming in and out. We've had Seamus up there, 1805. Jimmy Coleman was up there at one point in different races. Snav, obviously, would have been a lot closer if he'd qualified for half the races. But Timmy's second half of the year has been pretty much faultless until now. So you just got, you got to put your hands together for him. It's his first year in Megane's. Last year, I blew it basically. I didn't put myself in a strong enough position early on. And it's also a bit of redemption for the Activision Championship, which I went in leading and blew it on the final lap. So for a sim championship, it's nice to actually just cruise home.
Yeah, I was saying in the commentary when you went on to that final lap, I said, I know there'll be all sorts of thoughts on this final lap where you'll be thinking of the mistakes and stuff that you've done in the past and the missed opportunities and the race wins, and I just thought, just got to get that out of your head and just get these last few corners, because that was it. That's all you needed, and you did it. You're champion, and it looks like for next season you're going to be promoted into Lobby 1, and that's going to be a challenge, isn't it? I mean, you're on the pace of Chris Cross. We saw during the race that you were matching his times. You were right there. You even were catching him on a number of laps. So, are you looking forward to the challenge?
Not really. To be fair, I race with JE quite a lot of the time. I know Mark, who won Lobby 1, quite well. I used to kart against him all the time, but he's just another world on this.
Yeah.
So if there's space in Lobby 2, just let me know. But yeah, it'll certainly be a challenge, and I'll have to get used to not winning races. But I've just got to cut out the mistakes. From every racing series I've done in NXTGEN, I've struggled not to cut out the little mistakes. I've had pace and then touch the grass and spun off and things like that. So if I can cut them out, I can have a good consistent season. That's probably the aim. And I'll be on GT Sport more, because obviously Project Cars 2 championships are finishing, and we'll have the other things like the minis and the Scirocco's. So I should be able to get my head around the game a bit more.
Exactly, and I think that'll be really beneficial for you, Dave. And you like you said about this season, the consistency was there. There was only one race this season that you didn't finish outside of the top two. That consistency was so important, and sure enough, it was Red Bull Ring, and that's something that'll be on
that off the calendar.
It will be on the calendar for season 19. I can tell you that right now. But Timmy was the same. He had only one race that he finished lower than outside of the podium. So the pair have been right, hammer and tongs at it all season long. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how you get on in Lobby 2 with him. And I'm fairly certain when we have the practice qualifiers for season 19, which will be starting soon, and I'll give everyone more details on that shortly. But I just want to say, Dave, congratulations. It's been a long time coming, and well done.
Thank you. And at least I'll be in Race of Champions as a champion.
You will be in the Race of Champions as a champion, of course you will, which is fantastic. Jordan's just joined us as well in the meantime. And Jordan, who races in Lobby 1, is also a commentator with us at NXTGEN, which is going to be interesting to see. So that's it for this season, for the Renault Megane Trophy. It's been a wonderful season, lots of action, lots of different wonderful battles, wonderful podium places, surprises. I'm sure we'll have a review at this potentially at the end of the season. I'll probably ramble on for about 4 or 5 hours at some point about it, but it will be coming back in season 19, the Renault Megane Trophy, same time at 8 o'clock on a Thursday, and the season begins on the 19th of November. The sign-ups for these championships for both Lobby 1 and Lobby 2 will be going out soon, so keep an eye out on NXTGEN's Facebook, social medias, for example. That's where we'll be posting all of the information. I also want to say, because Dave just alluded to it shortly, we'll be having a support series joining the Thursday night running next season. We will have the Volkswagen Scirocco Group 4 Cup coming in too. On this occasion, the drivers will be designing their own liveries, so I'm certain I've got a sort of minefield of trying to talk around what type of liveries they've got. They will be appropriate, but of course some of them will be having a laugh with them, so it'll be quite fun to see that. And that's it. That's it for everything. I've said all that needs to be said. The season is done and dusted. It's consigned to the history books, but one thing that Dave can do right now is relax and probably open a cold one ahead of this evening and watch back all of this season's lobbies. You can go onto YouTube. You can stay on Twitch, of course, to go back through the Lobby 2 season. You can go on Jack TM53 Synopsis on YouTube. All of the races this season have been uploaded on there. That's for Lobby 2, of course. You can also go on to Lobby 1, which is CJW Racing on YouTube. Chris, who's the commentator of that, great commentator, obviously had a lot of action involved in that one too. But from me, from Jack TM53, that's your lot for season 18. So wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a good one, and I'll see you sometime soon.